Welcome back, everybody. This is your boy TGK on TGK TV. And as you can tell from the title of this video, is the Dallas Cowboys' biggest problem. I want to dissect that and go over that with y'all and kind of elaborate on my thoughts of who is our biggest problem as a whole when it comes to the team. However, I want to just address the video that I posted last night. I've gotten a lot of reaction from it. And a lot of the reaction, hey, I understand that y'all may have been unhappy with my approach when it comes to calling out Mark Holmes. However, I have nothing against Mark Holmes. It's just, give some consistency. If you don't want to bring up Tony Romo as far as when it comes to this season or last season, also don't bring him up when it benefits you to bring him up in the conversation when no one's talking about him. We understand we're moving on from Romo. It's just don't bring him up. So the more times you bring him up, the more times I'm going to call you out on it. And that's all it is. We're moving on from Romo. I don't want to, but I'm moving on. It is what it is. The whole thing wasn't to bash Dak. Dak is in a tough situation because he has a horrible coaching staff. So I'm sensitive to that. However, his performances are just not great. And the only reason we've been doing well is because of the Amari Cooper, which has turned out to be a great trade. It's just, man, there's so much potential that Dak can get to. It's just this coaching staff, they ain't going to be able to get to it. And I know they just can't. I've given up on this coaching staff for quite some time. Changed my mind. Where's my cup with my tea? So that was that. Nothing against Mark Holmes. It is what it is. However, the Dallas Cowboys' biggest problem is Jerry Jones. That's who it is, guys. It's Jerry Jones. Let me preface my comments before I get into that. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, being from Dallas, Texas, as you can tell, I rock with the Mavericks. I seldomly support the Rangers because they're quite disappointing as well. I'm a Dallas Stars fan, SC Dallas Soccer fan, SMU fan. I mean, I'm a fan of just Dallas in general. Any local team that we got, support you, right? The Dallas Wings, the WNBA team, rocking with all Dallas. So when I speak of the city and teams, I want the best for them. The thing is, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, it's a different level of expectation. Growing up, I've always heard the term Super Bowl or bust, and I was never, I would say, old enough when we won the Super Bowls to be conscious of like the success that we were having. But I always expected the most from them. Because we've been to 8 Super Bowls. We won 5 of them. So as a Dallas Cowboys fan, for the betterment of my life, I've never seen this success, right? I've only had bits and pieces with Romo. So that's why I've been so keen to being a big Romo fan, because the only time we've ever had success is when he was here, Bill Parcells had his spurts with Quincy Carter. And that was just in the first year, and we got destroyed in the playoffs. So the few moments that we had really good success is the majority of them being with Romo from what I've seen, okay? However, I know our history. I know what the Dallas Cowboys franchise means to sports in general, to the NFL in general, to pop culture, to everything as far as the world renowned. We are one of the biggest teams in the world. We're number 1 on Forbes. We pull in the most ratings. It's Dallas Cowboys. All the celebrities loves us. I mean, you got to think about it. Dallas Cowboys is the biggest sports team in the world. So, with that being said, is if Jerry Jones had a different mindset or approach, the outcomes to what this team could potentially be would be completely different. So, again, I'm going to stop it before I even start with the whole Jerry Jones things. As a fan, I expect excellence. I expect being in the Super Bowl as much as possible. What's sad is Tom Brady in his career has made it to 7 Super Bowls and won 5 of them. He's literally done the Dallas Cowboys' entire history in his short amount of time. To me as a fan, that's embarrassing because of our level of expectation. I don't look at the NFC division as our rivals. I really don't. I don't look at the Giants as a rival. I don't look at Washington as a rival. I don't look at the Philadelphia Eagles as a rival. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I look at the San Francisco 49ers, and I look at the New England Patriots as our rivals. Why? Because the 49ers and the Patriots got 5 of them, and the Steelers got 6 of them. we need to stay in that conversation. We need to get 6. We just can't have the Steelers have 6 and be the only one. For such a long time, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, we were able to flex our little muscles and be like, we made 8 of them and won 5. And the only other team that got 5 is the 49ers for such a long time. And then in that short time, you've had the Steelers and Patriots come in here. So are you going to be satisfied with being mediocre for the next 20 years? Are you going to be satisfied with the continuous decisions that Jerry Jones has made, or the lack thereof, with the amount of production on the field? Jerry Jones is the biggest problem to the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because the sense of urgency to win when it comes to the on-the-field product is not there. Yes, he made a trade for Amari Cooper, but what does it protect? It protects Jason Garrett. It protects Dak Prescott. It's a great trade. I'm not trying to hate on that trade. I'm glad we have him. It's just, my thing is, we've had the same coach for such a long time, and it's only given us mediocre results. Tony Romo has only could do what he could do with that coaching staff, but think about that. Tony Romo has done what he could do with that coaching staff. Imagine what Tony Romo could have done with a different coach. Imagine what Dak Prescott could do with a different coach. If we had Sean Payton, imagine what the Dallas Cowboys would be right now. We'd probably be on a different level when it comes to all the talent we acquired. I'm not criticizing the organization as far as the talent that we have. I'm not criticizing the organization when it comes to the marketing to making us this number 1 team. I'm not criticizing that. Honestly, I care less about that. I'd rather have Super Bowls than being number 1 on Forbes. Because being number 1 on Forbes doesn't benefit me. Being a Super Bowl champion benefits me. It makes me happy, even more happy being a part of this franchise. Like, you know what? My team is a representation of my expectation, and we are excellent. We are always in the hunt for Super Bowls. It's sad when we're eliminated. It's sad when we're not in the playoffs. It's really sad that we never got to be a part of a Super Bowl here in the last 20 years. So with Jerry Jones, the reason he's the biggest problem is because he'll fire Wade Phillips when Wade Phillips has gone to these different teams and has turned them around. So it's like, did he hold Wade Phillips back? He'll hire Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells turned his entire team around. Yet he cuts him right when we're on the brink of greatness. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he brought in Jimmy Johnson. He's got us 2 Super Bowls, but then cuts him because of ego, and brings in who did he bring in? That coach. Why is it slipping my mind? Oh, Barry Switzer. He hired Barry Switzer, the Oklahoma Sooner coach. Got us 1 Super Bowl with Jimmy Johnson's players, but didn't get us anything after that. And then after that, the few other coaches, they didn't produce much. So here's the thing, man. Jerry Jones has done well for us as far as making us the number 1 team when it comes to value, when it comes to being in headlines. However, I would love to see Jerry Jones kind of take a step back and actually start holding his coaches accountable instead of making them puppets. Also, give your coaches the freedom to make decisions. Give your coaches the ability to be their own individual instead of always having to feel like they have to report to you. It feels like that. I'm not saying I'm alleging that, but because you've kept Jason Garrett in his position for quite some time and has only garnered you 1 playoff win, 2 playoff wins, no, 1 playoff win in that time span, man, it's like if I'm in a job and I don't produce stuff for 8 years, I would have been let go 6 years ago. I wouldn't be given an extra 6. So it's like, I care about my team. I care about this damn franchise and the star on the helmet. And as a fan, if the owner doesn't show that he cares either, or doesn't show that he cares in general, then why should I care? Jerry Jones, be careful with the fans, man. We're catching on to some of the stuff that you're pulling, and we want accountability for the entire team. And I'm speaking for me, and I'm speaking for the people that I know. Have accountability for the team. Hold the players accountable. Hold the coaches accountable. Dak Prescott can probably become one of the greats. He has the potential to be, but he also hasn't lived up to that potential. That's the problem. Your coaches should be able to elevate your players. That's the whole point of coaching. Can you elevate them? Can you teach them the ropes? You know what I'm saying? So, that was just my rant for today. That's the Cowboys' biggest problem to me is Jerry Jones. And this offseason is going to tell me a lot about our trajectory and where we go moving forward. And I'm just hoping we get a new coaching staff, man. I don't see much happening in the playoffs. Call me half glass empty kind of guy. It's just the way I feel with this team. So this is what it is, man. This is your boy TGK. Catch you on the next one, man. Leave a like. I ain't gonna do all that YouTube stuff. I'll catch you on the next one.